Right now, a grieving community is coming together in prayer, trying to find comfort as they deal with the loss of a Boone County Sheriff's deputy. For the second day in a row, we've watched the memorial grow at the Sheriff's Department, all in honor of Deputy Jacob Pickett. He was shot while helping police serve a warrant Friday morning, and since then, he's been on life support at the hospital so that his organs can be donated to people in need. Tonight, prayers continue for his family and his fellow officers. Our Alan Carter shows us a service this evening at Lebanon Christian Church.
And really a whole community that's been hit hard of late, not only the loss of the deputy, but also a high school student and a councilman. So the prayer service that's going on today for all three of those that have been lost. And I can tell you it is a packed house inside. Several hundred people, probably over 1,000 that are in there, standing room only, as there aren't enough chairs for all the people that have showed up. We're talking about deputies, people that knew the deputy, the fellow deputy here, as well as people that didn't. Now, earlier today, though, I did have the pleasure of talking to a high school friend of Deputy Pickett, and just like many other relationships that are in high school, people they grow apart, and they had conversations off and on up until this tragedy, and really that is something, he says, that stayed with him.
Speaking to my students, as a student minister, I started off my service just by simply asking them to grab their cell phones, take them out, and just to text somebody that maybe they haven't connected with recently. Just simply tell them, you as a follower of Christ have a responsibility to ensure that people around you know that you love them, that you care for them, that you are always there for them for prayer and support. So I just encourage them to reach out to those, whether they're friends or enemies. And I explained why, mainly because, yeah, I regret not following up on that cup of coffee that really should have happened a year and a half ago.
And this only one of two services that are set for tonight. Another one at 6:30 at Freedom Church here in Boone County. Reporting in Boone County, Alan Carter, Channel 13, Eyewitness News.
Alan, thank you. The loss of Deputy Pickett is going to be especially difficult at another Boone County church. On Sundays, Deputy Pickett usually worked at Traders Point Christian Church in Whitestown, helping direct traffic. He was there just last week. People in that congregation say he made them feel safe, and they'll always remember his warmth, his humility, and his sense of humor. The pastor says it has been an especially emotional weekend.
You see quite a bit of tears in the lobby, you see a lot of hugs, and then you see a lot of people nodding their heads, telling stories about Jake and what he's done here and what he's done around the community. He's from Brownsburg, so this is not just a place where he's worked. He grew up here. He left a legacy. He did it well.
State police stepped in to help keep cars moving this morning. Church members say their faith is helping them during this difficult time. And developing tonight, the man accused of shooting Deputy Pickett is now in the Hamilton County Jail. They just released this new mugshot of Anthony Baumgart. The Boone County Sheriff personally booked him into the Boone County Jail yesterday. That's where he was charged preliminarily with Deputy Pickett's murder and several other crimes. But as we told you yesterday at 6, the sheriff said Baumgart would be moved to another jail due to the circumstances of this case. We are also working to find out when he and the other two suspects who fled police are expected to appear in court. Once we get that information, we'll be sure to let you know. Meanwhile, we do want to share part of an emotional letter to the community from the Boone County Sheriff. Sheriff Mike Nielsen said, "We are forever grateful for everyone's support." He posted this letter on the department's Facebook page, and in it, he says he's struggling to make sense of this, and he questions why things like this happen to good people. But he says, although the outcome was tragic, I take comfort in knowing that Jake was running behind Brick, giving commands to get the suspect, doing what he loved, and knowing his partner was there beside him. In the end, Brick was there by Jake's side, doing what Brick loved, protecting his partner until the end. Now, if you'd like to read the sheriff's entire letter, we've posted it for you tonight on WTHR.com. The memorial outside the Boone County Sheriff's Office continues to grow tonight. In fact, this morning, people left flowers, balloons, and several handwritten cards from children. Those who stopped by say they wanted to let Deputy Pickett's family know they're thinking about them. One father brought his son to see the deputy's patrol car. They left a toy horse picked out by another one of his children.
He's too young to probably understand the importance and the sacrifice that this officer made, but I think it's good for him to share in the pain that this family's going through. And I know this officer had two young kids, so I wanted to bring him out here just to pay our respects to him and his family.
It's too close to home when it happens here in your own county, you know. Sadness. Very much sadness to think that the kid had a family and 2 little boys. It's not gonna. It's terrible. It's really terrible.
At the memorial today, other people had dog treats for Brick, Deputy Pickett's canine partner. The sheriff says this patrol car will remain as a memorial until the funeral. A reminder for you, you can see all of our coverage from the last several days, including several moving tributes at evening vigils for Deputy Pickett on our website, WTHR.com. And it has been a very difficult week for Boone County. Before the shooting of Deputy Pickett, they were already dealing with the death of a Western Boone High School student. 18-year-old Sydney Foster was killed in a crash last week. Her visitation is scheduled to begin at 3 o'clock tomorrow at Traders Point Christian Church. Her funeral will be held there on Tuesday morning. New tonight, funeral arrangements are now set for a Morgan County Sheriff's deputy who died unexpectedly last week. The sheriff posted on Facebook that Stephen Goss died on Thursday. He worked in law enforcement for nearly 20 years. He was currently in the department's warrant division. His visitation is going on right now at Mount Gilead Church in Mooresville. The funeral is set for tomorrow morning. There is a GoFundMe page set up to help his family. And if you'd like to contribute, we have a link for you with this story on WTHR.com.